Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another piercing related video, and this one is going to be signs of a healing eyebrow piercing. I'm just going to be going over just some things to look out for when it's healing and just a little bit of information about eyebrow piercings in case any of you who have one or want to get one are wondering about it. And it is about 90 degrees. In my room, I am sitting in front of two windows that have the sun blaring down on me. I'm a sweaty mess. My eyelash is falling off. You can hear my fan. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to put up with it today because it's hot. I want summer to be over so bad. So before I get into this whole entire video, I just want to have a little bit of a discussion, rant. If you don't want to listen to this, look down in the description box now and it'll tell you where to skip to if you don't want to listen to this. But for those of you who are a little bit interested in what I'm going to say, here you go. So the very first thing is I am not a professional piercer. I am not licensed. I am not a professional. I have never pierced anyone before. I make these videos strictly from personal experience and knowledge that I already know. I do not make these videos trying to come off to fool people that I'm like a professional piercer. All I'm trying to do when I make these sort of like piercing related videos is I'm just trying to share knowledge and maybe try to help someone out there. If any of you who are offended by these types of videos, I'm sorry, but you don't have to watch. I know a lot of people get upset when I make these type of videos because they say I'm trying to trick people, and that is not the case because I try to always make it very clear that I'm not a professional piercer. I will be disabling comments on this video because I don't want to deal with backlash. I just want to make this video for the strict purpose of maybe trying to help someone out there from my own personal experience with this piercing. Every piercing related video on my channel has to do with piercings that I have. Obviously, they're from personal experience and just knowledge that I know. I always strictly advise you to always go seek professional advice from your own piercer because a lot of people ask me questions and that's fine, but I do have a job now outside of YouTube. I do not do YouTube full-time anymore, so I am quite busy. I do not have time to answer everyone's questions anymore, and 99% of the time I will just tell you to go see your piercer because I'm not a professional. I can't see it and I can't give you I could, but I can't give you a for sure what's possibly going on with it. So just please go see your piercer. I know in past videos I have said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. That was when I didn't have a job and that was when I had time to do YouTube 110% of the time. I don't have that type of time anymore, so I'm sorry. I just don't have time for it. I just want to make these videos on my channel just to try to help someone out there who may have a question about eyebrow piercings. That is why I'm doing this video. Please don't think I'm doing this to try to trick people into thinking I'm a professional, because in almost every video I always say that I'm not. I'm just a girl who likes piercings, who likes to talk about piercings. That's all. End rant. Let's go ahead and move on with this video. So I have had my eyebrow piercing. If you don't know what an eyebrow piercing is, there you go. I've had my eyebrow pierced for almost exactly 2 years. I think the 25th will be the 25th will be 2 years since I've had it done, and I've had quite a bit of a little interesting experience with my eyebrow piercing as well. I do have a video of me getting it pierced. I will have all those videos linked up in this corner. If you pay attention, you'll see them slide out every so often. I'm just going to be talking about just the signs that I had during healing, my experience, the pain, just things like that in this video today. When I got mine pierced, I was pierced with a 16 gauge needle and it was a curved barbell. So that was the jewelry I had during healing time, and I would say it took about maybe 8 to 10 weeks to heal fully for me, for my personal experience and body, because my body does heal a little bit differently with piercings. I am more of a slow healer, but that's just kind of how it was for my eyebrow piercing in particular. So the typical healing time for an eyebrow piercing is about 6 to 8 weeks. That varies from person to person. There's not like a direct time of healing for an eyebrow piercing just because everyone heals differently. Some people heal a lot faster, some people heal a lot slower. Okay, so piercing pain. A lot of people ask, oh, did it hurt? What did it feel like? In your video you didn't flinch, blah blah blah. I mean, okay, when you get a piercing, obviously you're going to feel it. It's a needle going through your skin, so yes, you are going to feel some pain, but was it completely and totally unbearable? Was I in super mega pain? Absolutely not. I would say on a pain scale, maybe a 2 out of 10. It did not hurt at all, and I was actually pretty nervous about that piercing. I thought it was going to hurt really bad, but in actuality it really wasn't that bad at all. So no, it didn't really hurt, but then again, I cannot speak for everyone when I say that because pain is different for everyone. Just try to keep that in mind. Is, you know, when someone asks me, oh, did that hurt? I don't know why I even bother answering those questions because it's different for everyone. So just keep that in mind, but no, mine didn't necessarily hurt. As far as cleaning the piercing, I cleaned it about 1 to 3 times a day max. You should never go over and you should never go under 1 time a day. You should at least clean it once a day, especially during the first week or so. That's like the most crucial time for like piercings to heal and whatnot. But I clean mine 1 to 3 times a day max. I cleaned it with my sea salt solution that I make myself. Well, it's not myself, like it's not my solution, but it's, you know, the typical 1/4 teaspoon of non-iodized sea salt with 8 ounces of water. Mix it up, clean your piercing that way. And also my antibacterial soap. I just use a regular non-scented antibacterial soap, or Provon soap works really well as well. So that's basically how I cleaned it. I cleaned it for about 2 weeks, at least once a day. And another thing about eyebrow piercings, at least in my situation, in my personal experience, is the less you touch it and the less you mess with it, the better. I learned the hard way because I was cleaning it and I was messing with it a lot and it just did not go well. So the less time you are fiddling around with it, the better it will heal and the better it'll be. Okay, so some signs of a healing eyebrow piercing are obviously you're going to have some redness. There is going to be a little bit of pain or tenderness during the first initial healing. That's totally normal. Another thing is, yes, it is normal to be able to feel the bar through the skin. I can feel mine right now. It's totally fine. That does not necessarily mean it's rejecting. Obviously there will be a little bit of swelling. You're going to get the crusties. And another thing that does happen, it's not very common, but it does happen with some people, is the bruising. Some people, when they get pierced, they bruise so bad their entire eye turns black. Like it looks like they got punched in the face, like they have a black eye. And again, that's totally normal. You know, that's a lot of trauma for the skin. Blood's gonna rush to the area and it can cause bruising. So if you do get bruising, it's totally fine. Just ice it and it'll go down in a few days. But I know a lot of people tend to freak out if they get like a bruise in that area and they don't know what to do about it, but little do they know, it does happen. Some people do have an easier time with healing and some don't. Like some people, they get it pierced and it's fine all the way up until it's totally healed. Like they don't have any signs of that stuff. Or if you're like me, you did not have a very easy time healing it. I remember I could not leave my house for like a week because of how swollen it was. It was very, very painful. I remember this whole bottom part of my eye was bruised. It was just very, very swollen and not pretty looking. So everyone, like I said, heals differently. So basically what I did is I just took ibuprofen for the pain and iced it for the swelling, and about a week later it did tend to go down and it was all smooth sailing from them. But definitely I would say about the first 1 to 2 weeks it was pretty ugly for me. Like my piercing just wasn't doing good. One thing I will definitely recommend is do not wear any sort of makeup near the piercing for at least a few weeks. Definitely getting, you know, makeup around that area and having it get into the piercing is definitely going to cause bacteria to get in there and possible infection. And I remember I did that, like I was still doing YouTube and I was filming like makeup looks back when my makeup was totally shitty. I mean, it still is, I don't know. But, you know, my makeup would get all the way up into my eyebrow piercing and it got really red and irritated. So just try not to wear makeup around it for a few weeks just to make sure that it can get through that like super crucial time of healing. One of the common questions I always get is how do you wax, pluck, or thread or tweeze your eyebrows? I do it just like normal. I just tweeze around the piercing. It's really not a big deal. I do not go and get my eyebrows waxed or threaded. I just tweeze them at home myself when they need it, and I just go around the piercing. Sometimes if I have to, I just take it out, tweeze the hairs, and then put it back in. It's not a big deal. If your piercing is still healing and you want to go get your eyebrows waxed, I would not recommend that. I would just wait till your piercing is healed, get them waxed before you get it pierced, and then let the piercing heal before you go and do that, because I can't imagine that would feel very good getting an eyebrow waxing with a fresh eyebrow piercing. So just kind of keep that in mind, but that is how I do mine. I've had it for 2 years, it's perfectly healed, so it's fine. And another question that I most commonly get is when did you change it? I changed mine at around the 7-week mark. It was totally healed and the bar was super, super long at that point, so it was ready to change it. I just changed it to one that I bought offline, and I thought it was going to be short enough, but it wasn't. It was still pretty long and it didn't really look right. That's another question I get, is how do you know what size to get? Definitely go talk to a piercer and talk about the look you like, and you know, just talk about general things like that, and they'll be able to tell you what a good size is. The one that I currently have in now is from BlueBanana.com, It is a 16 gauge, just regular surgical steel. I think it's either a 6 or 8 millimeter ring, curved barbell that just sits in my piercing like that. So literally you can just see the two little balls, which is the style that I like. Some people like the rings, some people like them a little bit longer. It totally depends on your own personal taste. And I never experienced any sort of migration or rejection. That is another thing that can sometimes happen with eyebrow piercings, is they do and can sometimes reject. Because it is a surface piercing, and surface piercings do have more of a rejection rate, which means the body can push them out. I do have a video on rejection and migration. I will go ahead and link that up at the top if you are curious to see that. And you can get them redone, but that's just another thing to kind of look out for when you're when you're getting an eyebrow piercing. Okay everyone, so that is everything that I have for this Signs of a Healing Eyebrow Piercing video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, be sure to give a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to go down and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But until then, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys!